Okay, this is the third verse to tell me the stories of Jesus in simplified ASL. I am going to teach a fourth verse to my kids that is a verse that was sung by the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square in one of their performances. So if you would like to also learn that verse, you are welcome to look up that video after this one and get some more details on that. I've always felt like this verse ends rather abruptly, and it's just a very odd end to a song. And it turns out that's because this is part of a larger poem that was written that has more than 3 verses. And so this is just kind of the middle of the poem. So that's why I chose to teach that fourth verse. I feel like it's a much more succinct ending to the song. But here is the third verse for all of you of Tell Me the Stories of Jesus. Tell me in accents of wonder how rolled the seas, tossing the boat in a tempest on Galilee, and how the Master, ready and kind, chided the billows and hushed the wind. Okay, so the first line is tell me in accents of wonder. So again, we're going to use the sign for tell me because this is someone telling stories about Jesus. So tell me, okay, tell me in accents of wonder. Now this sign goes like this, right? So you've got your mouth open and you're looking at something like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just saw that. Wow. Whoa, right? That's the sign. It's very important that you make the right face with this sign because here's a different sign that means something totally different. This means angry. So do not sign it like this, okay? Because it's going to be very confusing. So sign it with this face of wonder. Wow, that's amazing, okay? Because these stories that they're telling are amazing, okay? So tell me in accents of wonder how rolled the seas. We're just going to sign the seas rolling, okay? Tossing the boat in a tempest. Okay, so we're going to do a little boat like this. Okay, we're going to do a boat with our hands, and the boat's going to be rolling in the seas, and then you can kind of make it start tossing in this tempest, okay? So you start with the boat, tossing the boat in a tempest, and then you can show the boat starting to kind of rock back and forth, and then your hands are going to sign the tempest, which is a storm, instead of the boat. So tossing the boat in a tempest on Galilee. Now, in real strong ASL, you would want to fingerspell Galilee so that you could be talking about this specific place. We are not going to do that. If you really want to have a sign for Galilee, I would just sign in that city. Okay, this is the sign for city. It's like how you're building houses with your hands. Okay, so if you wanted to sign tossing the boat in a tempest on Galilee, you could totally sign that, but I think with my kids, I'm just going to do a boat, tossing a boat in the tempest on Galilee. I'm just going to keep showing that tempest, okay? And how the Master, okay, so we're going to sign, for Master, we're going to sign someone who has control over everything, right? Because that's why he's the Master. He has control over the storms and the waves and all of the elements, right? So we're going to sign controller, okay? This is the sign for control. You're going to do X's with your hands, like this, okay? And you're going to turn them this way so that they're like parallel to the floor, and you're going to move them back and forth like that. Control. Now this is the sign for control. So a person who controls, we would sign it like this, control-er. Just like this is the sign for teach, and this is the sign for teacher, okay? So someone who teaches, teach person. Right? So control is the same thing. Control person. Okay? So this is Master. This is what we're going to sign for Master. It's like someone's moving puppet strings with their fingers. Okay? Master. You can see that? And how the Master, ready and kind. For ready, we're going to sign him just standing like this. This is another one of those classifiers. These are his legs, okay? And he's just standing very firm and strong. And that's how we're going to sign ready, because he was ready for anything and he was always strong. And ready to help in any situation. Whereas his apostles may have felt a little bit like this, like their knees were shaking and they were scared, right? But he stood firm and strong. Okay, so and how the master, ready and kind. So kind, we're going to sign like this. We've signed this one before. So you just take your 5 hands and you move one in front of the other. Ready and kind, chided the billows and hushed the wind. So for chided, we're going to sign this sign. It's meaning like rebuking or telling them what to do, right? This is just kind of a very strong way of commanding something, okay? So chided, you're going to take this finger up here, and then you're going to have your one finger for this one as well, and you're just going to shoot those commands out of his mouth, right? Because he just told those winds what to do. He just told them what to do really quickly, and everything just changed, right? And that's what we want to convey with this sign. It's not like he just said it, he didn't just talk it, right? He just commanded the wind and the waves to stop. Okay, so chided the billows, and again, we're going to do this sign. We've kind of got these claw hands a little bit, so not total 5s. You're going to curve your fingers just a little bit, and you're going to toss them back and forth like this. Chided the billows and hushed the wind. So instead of signing hushed and then wind, we're going to sign wind and then hushed, because that's how we want it to end, right? Is that it's hushing. So we're going to chided the billows, and then wind is like this, and so you can kind of just move the billows into this crazy wind, right? So you can move it from the water up here to the sky, because that's the wind too. So we're going to say chided the billows and hushed the wind. So we're showing the wind, and then I want you to slow that wind down just a little bit, and then it's going to hush. Isn't that cool? Sign language just gives you chills, right? Okay, so we're going to chided the billows and hushed the wind. There you go.